Good morning.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm so happy you're here. I love grilling shows. You've been on before, I believe,
I
and we
think
had a
so.
great time. Let's
Yeah, thanks for having me
make
back.
that magic again. All right, we have 10 minutes, right, Control? We're taking 10
Sounds
minutes. They're
good.
not saying it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mornings with Loretta. I am so excited. You know, I love anytime we can talk about food and delicious food and tips and tricks. Well, we have with us to help take your 4th of July to that extremely high level. Everybody will be talking about the event because it's not just going to be having people over, it's definitely going to be an experience. And Chef Matt Moore is here to help us with that. Welcome, Chef.
Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for having me back.
Of course. So let's just jump in there because you know I'll have a lot of questions. I can't wait to see what you prepared. And next time I'm definitely coming to where you are because that food looks so amazing. So what's the key thing to remember when you're grilling? I mean, take us through like we've never ever grilled before.
Well, for me, it's kind of inviting everybody to the party, and obviously, it's going to be a hot 4th of July, but that means we're going to have a great time too, and get outside and enjoy just the experience of what it means to grill. And so, I think you don't have to have a big budget to have a cookout. My latest book is out called Butcher on the Block. We feature over 125 recipes from butchers all over the world. And part of the utility of the book is about kind of fostering community, but also kind of focusing on maybe some of the budget cuts like a strip steak or a flank steak, or even that fresh ground meat that we're going to pick up from our butcher as we throw it on the grill. So time and temperature control is what makes a good griller. And so if you don't have a fancy grill, it could be a gas grill. And as long as you can turn the dials to manage the heat appropriately, or a charcoal grill, you've got the airflow to manage that as well. You know, those are the key components. So if you can control your temperature, you can really grill anything.
Okay, so this is embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you this. So my brother came over about 3 weeks ago. He's like a master griller like you. And he says, come here, I want you to watch something. And it was like Greek to me. I've tried, Matt. He's like, you got to build this pyramid and you got to do this and you got to do that. And I mean, we really do need help. So you're assuming we know a lot, but we don't.
Well,
Assume we don't know about temperature.
temperature is key. Just like when you cook on the stove, you know, you turn that dial to be able to indicate temperature. And that's why a lot of folks, as they start getting into grilling, they may focus on a gas grill or an electric grill that gives them that kind of precise control. As you start to graduate to those charcoal piles, I've been there. But again, it's all about getting it lit and then controlling that down. I like to incorporate recipes that also kind of set you up for success as well. So kind of one of my go-to staples as you get your grill over a medium heat, Hillshire Farm fully cooked smoked sausage. It's going to add a little bit of excitement to everyday meals. We've put together these zesty Italian smoked sausage kebabs. And so I like to say this flavor, this wonderful convenience of studying together the smoked sausage with some grilled potatoes, a little zucchini and peppers, it makes me want to say, oh, hell yeah. You know, so it's okay to take a couple of shortcuts, including the Hillshire Snacking small plates, snacking bistro bites. So each of these packages, they kind of build your own charcuterie board because you've got savory salami, you've got delicious cheese, toasted rounds, nuts. It's a really great snack for a premium and convenient experience, but it also can be an easy start to your summer cookout as you're entertaining as well.
Okay, Chef, you had me at oh hell yeah. I, I love that play because I actually have some Hillshire, and had my leg not been hurt, I would run to the freezer and let you see I have that Hillshire smoked sausage, so I could make kebabs and everything. So I know you know how to. So the butcher
Yeah.
and premium meats. What should we look for? What's the best? What meat are the best? 'Cause I love a ribeye, but it has to be like buttery, soft, and garlicky smooth. So what's the key for that?
I like your prerequisites. My wife is more of a tenderloin person, right? And so in the book, I'm exploring a lot of different offcuts. Like I mentioned, it's not just meat and game, but we feature vegetables and seafood too. But for the ribeye, I'm glad you brought it up because that's kind of the steak that we both believe in. And there's actually a portion of the ribeye, it's called the spinalis muscle. Your butcher might know it by spinalis. They might know it as the ribeye cap. And that's kind of that piece that goes right over the top of the steak. And if you go in and ask for a ribeye cap steak, what they will do is kind of tie it into a tenderloin style consistency. And so I love it because it's giving me all that big beefy flavor that we love from a ribeye. My wife loves it because it also gives her that tenderness that she loves from a filet. So I think it's a bit of give and take. And those are the types of things that we're trying to explore throughout the book, not just meat, but also seafood and vegetables too. And, you know, we can't have a good cookout without some side dishes, right? So I like to go a little bit new school and old school. So one of my go-tos is going to be a North Carolina sweet potato. Little question, trivia question for you. I'm going to put you to the test. Did you know that sweet potatoes is actually one word?
Of course I didn't. You taught me about the North Carolina sweet potato the last time you were here, and there is a huge difference between them. No, I did not know it was one word. Can you prove it?
I can prove it. There's actually a change.org website you can go out to. But now that we know that it's one word, let me tell you how to cook them too. Again, on the grill, I love to keep it simple. I like to cut them into big wedges. And sort of my twist, kind of a new school twist, is you pick up one of those taco seasoning packets. I love to kind of coat them in a little bit of oil, season them with that taco seasoning. I'm going to get them on the grill until they're nice and caramelized. Of course, you can also use your air fryer to make some delicious sweet potato fries. And the reason I love North Carolina sweet potatoes is because they are nutrient dense with vitamins A, C. They've got fiber and antioxidants. They're really perfect for any diet because they are sweetened from the earth and low in calories, and you can use them year round. They've got a long shelf life. So if you pick them up today, they're going to be good months later as you're making some of the fall delicious recipes as we get out of grilling season, although it's always grilling season at my house.
And here too. So you're telling me that when that potato starts to sprout, I don't have to throw it away?
No, it's something that you can keep, you know, either at room temperature, sometimes in the fridge, and they're going to maintain their consistency for months to come. I often fold them into, you know, a great pasta dish in the fall, even soups or maybe a mashed or baked sweet potato. You know, it's all about those sides, right? And another classic side that I know everyone is always jonesing for when it comes to that cookout would be your Bush's baked beans. They are the sure side of a good time. Bush's baked beans have such a distinct yet complementary flavor that pairs perfectly with hamburgers and hot dogs. And whether you're opening up a can of original or brown sugar hickory or any other variety, for me it's always kind of like opening up a can of summer. They also have a new recipe, which is Bush's zero sugar added baked beans. Same iconic flavor you love, but without the added sugar.
Okay, because I was just telling my family we cannot ever have a cookout without Bush's baked beans. I love the original, and sometimes we'll mix the two. So let me ask you this: since you're always here and enlightening us on how we can take our favorites and put a twist to it, so do you add anything to your Bush's baked beans? My sister-in-law adds ground beef. My brother does. They always adding something. Do you take it out? I can have it straight out the can, but I know you got a twist for us.
Yeah, straight out of the can. Sometimes you leave great, you let it be great. I think if there's anything for me, what I love to do is a little bit more technique. So instead of adding any additional ingredients, you mentioned all the things that people might do. It might be some onions or peppers or ground beef, additional bacon, you name it. I think baked beans are kind of a blank canvas for whatever you want. But from a technique perspective, what I love to do is pour the beans straight in if you want. If you can add other ingredients, you can. I'll put those on my grill or smoker alongside whatever I'm doing. So maybe it's a pork shoulder or a brisket, as I mentioned earlier, hamburgers and hot dogs. And by doing that, I'm not having to use my oven to heat up the whole house, especially during summer. So I've got them on the grill, but they're going to start to pick up some of that smoke, some of the char. It's kind of an all-in-one technique. So it's more of a technique-driven way to cook the baked beans rather than adding additional ingredients to it.
I love that. And that's my preference is just warm them up because I feel like they're already done. Okay, so let me ask you this because when we cleaning of the grill, that's probably my last question. Then tell us where we can go for more information
Sure.
and promise me you'll come back. But what about cleaning the grill?
Yeah,
Because sometimes I've thrown it away because there's rust on the little grates.
well, don't worry too much about rust. What you should do is just practice the quick practice anytime you finish grilling. I like to turn the heat up maybe to a high level, and it's kind of just going to burn off anything that's been on that grill. And so as I pull things off, I might turn it up on high for just a couple minutes, come outside with a grill brush. I try to avoid the ones that have the bristles. Those are kind of the old school. So you can still pick up just a good old classic grill brush. If you don't have that, you can crumple up some foil. You can use some foil. Some people, oftentimes will even use like an onion because of the natural acidity. You hit it with some tongs and brush the onion across. If you just take a couple minutes when you finish grilling and do that practice, it's going to keep those grates seasoned. It's going to keep them clean. That way, when you do pick up like the grilled shrimp on the half shell from this book, or a grilled salmon, or a cobia steak, that grill is going to be clean, and that's going to make sure that you've got success from a steak to a more delicate portion like a seafood or vegetable as well.
Oh, I just love it. And now I'm hungry. Matt, we're gonna grill together one day on this show. I just believe it's gonna happen. Thank you for being so kind and patient with this very underrated griller, talking to a master griller. So Matt, thank you so much. Where can we go for more information?
Yep, so you can pick up a copy of Butcher on the Block wherever books are sold. And for more information and recipes, head over to dailylounge.com.
Thank you so much. Have a great day and happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th. Get to grilling.
All right. I'm going to do my best. So, he had to go. But let me